We have found more than 6,000 planets around other stars, 6,000 worlds confirmed, catalogued, some of them photographed in the light of their own suns. And in March of this year, astronomers went through that entire catalog looking for the ones that could actually hold life. They found 45, 6,000 addresses in the universe, 45 that might be homes. Last episode, we saw that the arms of the galaxies are shelters, calm corridors where a planet can finally hold its own air. But an arm is not enough, because between a planet existing and a planet being able to carry life, there is a list of conditions so specific that the more you learn about them, the stranger it feels to be sitting here. Let me walk you through that list, because this is not a lottery, it is a stage prepared. The first condition is emptiness. Our solar system sits inside a cavity in the galaxy. Astronomers call it the local bubble, a hollow region about 1,000 light-years across, with roughly a tenth of the density of ordinary interstellar space. It was carved out by about 15 supernovas over the last 14 million years, blowing the gas outward and leaving a cleared room behind. And here is the part that stays with me. Our sun did not form inside that room. It drifted in about 5 million years ago. We are passengers moving through an emptied space that other stars died to clear. Why does emptiness matter so much? Because a planet cannot draw a stable orbit inside a crowd. In a region packed with gas, dust, and wandering bodies, every path gets disturbed, every atmosphere gets stripped, every surface gets bombarded. It takes something close to a vacuum for a planet to trace the calm ellipse that Johannes Kepler described 400 years ago, around one dominant center of density, undisturbed for billions of years. Emptiness is not absence. Emptiness is protection. The second condition is distance. Too close to the star, water becomes vapor and escapes. Too far, water becomes permanent ice. There is a narrow ring around every star where water can stay liquid, and astronomers call it the habitable zone. In our system, that ring is thin enough that Venus sits just inside it and Mars just outside. One is an oven, the other is a desert. We are the one in between. And the star itself has to cooperate. It has to be stable, patient, long-lived, burning steadily for billions of years, without flaring violently enough to sterilize what it warms. A star is a fall held back by fire, and life needs that balance to hold for a very long time. The third condition is the chemistry. Look at what a living body actually requires. Carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, phosphorus, sulfur, 6 elements doing almost all the work. And every single one of them was forged inside stars that died before our sun existed. We spent 2 episodes watching those deaths. This is what they were for. Carbon is the one that changes everything. A carbon atom can bond in 4 directions at once, which means it can build chains, rings, branches, structures of almost unlimited complexity. It is the only element that can write long sentences instead of short words. Phosphorus builds the backbone that holds genetic information. Nitrogen builds the letters written along it. And then there is water. Water dissolves more substances than any other common liquid, which means it can carry ingredients to each other. It holds heat, which means it protects against sudden change. And it stays liquid across a wide range of temperatures, which means it gives chemistry time to happen. Life does not simply need water. Life needs a place where things can meet and stay met long enough to become something else. Which brings us to the fourth condition, energy and a place to concentrate it. On the young Earth, the most promising of those places lie on the ocean floor. Hot springs where water heated by the planet's own interior rises through cracks in the rock, carrying dissolved minerals, meeting the cold sea, and building towers and chimneys of stone. Inside those structures, there are tiny pores, chambers, surfaces, warm on one side, cold on the other, acid on one side, alkaline on the other. Difference is what makes chemistry move. And there, in the dark, with no sunlight at all, molecules were concentrated, protected, and pushed to react, over and over, for millions of years. So now assemble the whole picture. A calm arm of a spiral galaxy, an emptied bubble inside it, a stable star, a rocky world at exactly the right distance, holding liquid water and an atmosphere. The 6 elements delivered by dead stars, warm mineral chambers on the ocean floor, concentrating and protecting. Everything is in place. The stage is built, and now the chemistry begins to do something remarkable. Molecules start linking into longer chains. Some of those chains fold into rings. Some become the letters we now call nucleotides. And then, at some point, those letters line up into the long spiral ladder we know, the double helix. Genetic material forming on its own from the ingredients of dead stars in the dark of a warm ocean. And here is where my book stops the whole story, with a question almost nobody asks. Is that alive? Because a molecule like that can grow. It can break. Its pieces can find other atoms and assemble into a new molecule of the same kind. There is multiplication happening, something that looks exactly like reproduction. But look closer. When one of those chains breaks apart and reassembles, the new molecule does not carry the defining characteristics of the first. The order changes, the length changes. You cannot say the second one is the child of the first. There is copying, but there is no inheritance. There is chemistry, but there is no line of descent. And there is one more thing missing, and in my book it is the deepest one. Those molecules only suffer their environment. They react to what arrives. Nothing in them cares about staying whole. Nothing builds a wall to protect itself. Nothing acts on the world around it on its own behalf. A living being does something no chemistry does. It maintains itself. It defends its own house. It reaches outward instead of only being pushed. So the stage was perfect. The recipe was complete. The letters were written and the ladder was standing. And nothing on that entire planet was alive. One thing was still missing, and it did not come from the elements. Think about the water itself. Earth did not invent it. The molecules that fill our oceans were already drifting inside cold clouds between the stars, formed long before this planet existed. Water was never manufactured here. It became available here, and then it gathered. In my books, the same thing happened with consciousness. Remember what we learned inside the Large Hadron Collider? Particles are excitations of fields. An electron is the electron field, stirred. A photon is the electromagnetic field, stirred. And my book proposes that there is another field, a conscious one, that mimics the very shape of the quantum field. Where matter arises from one, inner light arises from the other. After the connection, after the openings were torn in the fabric of space, that conscious field became available here, present, surrounding this young planet like an atmosphere no instrument could measure. Chemistry did not create it. Chemistry could only reach for it. And the structures capable of reaching were the long spiral ladders, the most complex arrangements matter had ever assembled, with narrow gaps running along their length, able to hold something that no element in the periodic table can be. Only then did life become possible. Not chemistry that finally got complicated enough. Matter that finally had something to attract. That is the next episode. What happens inside the helix the moment it holds inner light? The first wall a living thing ever built to protect itself. Why the longest ladders became the ones most capable of thinking. And the answer to the question underneath this entire series. Why does the universe want beings that can stand on their own without remembering where they came from? Everything in this episode comes from my books, a work about the force of consciousness and connection, the reality behind all realities. Links in bio. Until then, fly rooted.